Hey everyone, and welcome to the April 2021 Energetic Insights. For those of you guys that don't know me, my name is Depika Mystery, and I'm an intuitive guide, energy healer, coach, and a consultant. And for over 18 months now, I've been sharing these insights on a month-by-month basis. And it's really geared up for those of you guys becoming more and more consciously aware of your intuitive and energetic abilities and are looking for some practical guidance to help you to navigate your way through. So if that sounds like you, welcome, you're here at the right place. So, how are you guys doing? How are you finding the energy of April? Can you feel it? There is this beautiful kind of excitement and playfulness in there, and it's really, really expansive this month. There's a new wave of heart energy kind of weaving in and out through all of the themes this month, which kind of feels like a breath of fresh air, and it also feels very, very expansive. So whenever you get a moment, whenever you remember to kind of take a few deep breaths and take a moment to pause, what that will do is help you to kind of integrate with this new heart energy that is moving through us this month. And some of us may feel and may even hear it. It's like there's this, how can I explain it? It's like there's this, the land has a new beat and the ocean has a new pulse. So it's a sensation that we're feeling through our bodies and through our beings. And for many of us, and I think some of you guys have already mentioned this to me, time appears to be going faster and faster and faster. And one of the things that I got from the guides was basically the density of the planet is getting lighter, so there it feels like and it appears like the time is actually getting faster. So that is a quick kind of summary of April. But before we move on to each of the themes for April that I got, just want to take a recap and visit March, because as you know, a lot of the energies from the previous month also feed into the current month. So if any of these themes resonate with you, I really highly encourage you to go back and watch the March insights as well. So the 4 key themes I got for March was flowing forward, holding space, dance to your rhythm, and decision time. So as those of you guys that are still struggling to make those decisions, just be mindful that if you're in a state of procrastination, what you're doing is also inviting more energy to that, and so you'll be spinning more and more around in circles. So the way out of that is to actually make a decision, and don't judge yourself for whether it's the right decision or the wrong decision. Just make the decision, and then what will happen, the energy will start to flow, and then you'll get greater clarity what the next steps are. So I just hope that little bit helps you there. So let's move on to the first theme for this month, and it's called Ancestral Clearing. When I tuned into this, and there's this really, with the new energy that's coming through, what it often does is it brings up some of the hidden stuff or the buried stuff up to the surface. And I felt specifically this month, there's a lot that's around our ancestral lineage. So there's a lot of that's going to be clearing, some of the patterns, the wounds, the trauma that we are carrying from our ancestors that didn't get resolved or didn't get clear, that's going to come up through our being. So many of us are going to experience stuff like, so hang on a second, this doesn't really feel like my worst is coming from. And a lot of that is going to come from the ancestors. So it's really about, there's some really deep layers and deep hidden layers that is going to be coming up to the surface. So if you feel triggered and you're like, oh my goodness, where is this coming from? This doesn't feel like mine. Just take a moment and ask yourself, is this coming up because I'm clearing something from my ancestral lineage? And I think that will give you some clarity around that. Otherwise, you might feel like you're going absolutely and utterly bonkers. But it's just some of the ancestral stuff that you'll be clearing through your being. And the other way that this will present itself is that, so those of you guys that have already done a lot of work on yourself and you've worked on specific areas of your life, specific traumas, specific wounds or programs or patterns, what you might face is some of your old wounds and trauma that you've already worked on and you thought you've left it to bed. The way that the ancestral clearing will come up through something that you recognize. It will come up and it'll feel like that you're revisiting an old wound. So again, take a moment to ask yourself, is this an old wound that's coming up to be cleared, or is this a clearing that's coming out through the ancestral lineage? So those are 2 great ways to kind of recognize that clearing. And what it is going to invite is a lot more, and it's throughout all the themes this month, there is a sense of expansion and freedom. And it's almost like, so if you think about it, imagine if you were strapped in this, like you had all these different straps along you, it's almost like your chest is going to grow like this, and all those straps are just going to melt away. So there's this sense of expansion in that. So grounding is really going to be key. So make sure that you're taking a moment every single day to check in with your body, checking that you are grounded, and that is going to help you when you go through all these clearings that are happening this month. And it's fast. It's really, really, really fast. So before I move on to the next theme, I want to just kind of give you an exercise for helping you with the ancestral clearing. So if you're not sure whether you're doing it or whether it's coming up, but you kind of are aware that there is something there, there's an exercise that you can do, and you can do it through guided visualization. And it's about having fun when you do these exercises and allowing yourself to release whatever it needs to release. So I like to imagine there is this beautiful campfire in front of me, and the color that I use for the campfire is violet or purple. And this is actually links to the violet flame. So those of you guys that are aware of the energies and worked with healing modalities and stuff, you'll be aware of the violet flame. So those of you guys that don't know, don't worry, you don't need to know. You just have to imagine there's a campfire, and the campfire is violet, okay? And then imagine that you're sitting by that campfire, and you've got two backpacks on your back, right? So one of them represents the ancestors from your father's side, and the other backpack is linked to your ancestors on your mother's side. So if you take off the one for either one, whether you want to go for the father one or the mother one, just take one of them off. And as you take them off, I want you to just imagine kind of emptying the contents of the backpack into the fire. So you can either turn the backpack upside down and just shake it out and put it into the fire, or you can take each content out as it comes. And sometimes for some of you guys, you might find that putting your hand into the backpack and pulling out the content, that will give you some information that you were seeking or you needed to know. So that's also a helpful way of doing that. And then once you are done and all the contents is out of the backpack, just put the backpack on the fire. And then once you've done that, imagine that there's this beautiful, beautiful raindrops that are falling from the top and just covering your body with this, and the raindrops are colored in purple, pink, green, and I think that's it. Purple, pink, and green. And just imagine that. And as the raindrops kind of fall, imagine it's washing away any of the debris that are on your back. And then finally, imagine that the sunlight above you is shining on your back, especially around the back of your heart, shining on it, warming it, clearing it, and recharging the back of your heart with brand new energy. So do that for each of the back foot. So the same kind of method. And then the next one, you take the next backpack and do the same thing again. And that will help with the ancestral clearing. So that's really a clearing exercise that I've given you that you can work with and have fun with. So the next theme is, in the good old words of Elsa from Frozen, let it go. And because we've got this new heart energy that's coming through, it's also helping us to clear all the stuff that we're holding on to that we don't really need to hold on to. So what are the patterns, the programmings, the beliefs that you have within yourself that you're holding? So these are patterns, programs, beliefs that you're holding about yourself and about the world around you. So there may be some beliefs about yourself, there may be some beliefs about the world. And these beliefs and programs and patterns tend to be linked to, those things that give you comfort. So what is your belief around comfort? What makes you feel safe, right? What makes you feel worthy and special? What makes you feel like you are in control? And what makes you feel that you are right and somebody else is wrong? So have a look at those elements of, what are the patterns, programs, and beliefs that I'm holding on to, the things that give me comfort, the things that make me feel safe, the things that make me feel worthy, that make me feel special, that make me feel like I'm in control, and that makes me feel like I'm right and everyone else is wrong. So those are the things that are really coming up to be released. And the thing is, the more you let go, what you're going to find is that the more your heart's going to open up. And as your heart opens up, the more you're able to receive this new heart energy that's coming through. And there's nothing that you need to do. You just have to, it's almost like if you declutter and clear that space, there's this freedom, there's this spaciousness that comes with it. And there's this really good vibe. So just think about it in a way of, you know, when you are decluttering your house or clearing out your table or something, your office table. And when you clear that out, don't you just feel that this kind of peacefulness, but also this expansion and this kind of greater clarity that comes with it? And this freedom that also comes with it. Freedom is a really big theme this month as well. So just make sure, just allow yourself to clear that out, because what will happen is that you'll then be able to receive this new, it's going to feel, this energy feels really light, but it also feels very bright. And it's got this sense of, it will uplift you. So you'll feel like, you know, if you're someone that slouches, you might find that your back kind of uplifts and your heart kind of opens up. And you feel like you're in this cocoon, magical cocoon. So you know, you just got to do the work of letting things go. And then this energy will just kind of come in. The key thing here is, do not get your knickers into a twist, right? So if things are coming up for you that you're finding yourself getting triggered, you know, why me? Why is this happening to me? Why is this thing the same thing again? Or you're getting frustrated with the world outside of you or people around you, and you're finding yourself that your knickers is getting into a twist, that is a beautiful clue into what you need to release. So you can just take a moment and just sit with it and say, okay, what is this twisted knickers showing me? So what is this actually showing me? Where is it guiding me to? What is it showing me that I need to actually let go of, right? And also remember, right, when it comes to energy clearing, healing, alignment, that it is a cyclical process. So do not become a victim of it. It's like, oh, why is this happening to me? It is a cyclical process. So the more that you can accept that, and more that you realize that actually it's a process of shedding, grieving, accepting, and love. And that process just keeps going round and round and round. And the more that you accept that, the more that you will allow the energy to kind of work its magic through you. So let's move on to the third theme. The third theme is really, really cool. So there's a massive shift, because it's all about the heart. It just feels very heart orientated, the energy this month. So the other thing that I got was around forgiveness. You know, sometimes we don't even realize we haven't forgiven ourselves, we haven't forgiven someone else, because often that energy of forgiveness turns into resentment, turns into jealousy, turns into anger. And then what we find is that we have this experience where we feel like we're being boxed in, like we're in a cage, and that things that, you know, there's only limited supplies, that we are limited, and that there isn't enough to go around. So it's almost like we get stuck in this cage of lack and limitation, or a prison of lack and limitation, however you want to look at it. So if you are feeling that there's a lack of resources, or you feel like you're limited in opportunities and stuff, the key here is have a look and ask yourself, you know, who do I need to forgive? You know, who has done me wrong? You know, who has not met my expectation, or has got something that I wanted? Or where have you not got something that you wanted? You know, having a look at all those things and actually mapping it back to the people. So if it was somebody that done you wrong at some point in your life, who was that? When did that happen? And how did they do you wrong? And then ask yourself, are you holding any resentment, any jealousy, any anger towards that? So that will give you clues on where to kind of look at and what to work to. And sometimes it's not just people. But you know, it's not just your friends, your families, your colleagues. It could be people that, you know, a bartender that you'll never meet again, or someone on the street, or someone that's walked past you and brushed past you, and you know, they knocked you off your feet, or they hurt you in some way. It's those little things like that we may not be fully conscious of. But also, where in your life do you feel like the outside world is doing wrong to you? So that's having a look at that. So that's one way of looking at it. And then have a look at it just to say, asking yourself, you know, Where is resentment? Am I holding on to any resentment? And allow your body to tell you, because your body will give you a clue. So it will give you a clue in terms of, it will give you a sensational response. It will maybe make your heart beat faster. It may give you chills. It will give you pain somewhere, or it will give you a message. So work with your body to ask yourself, where are you holding, am I holding on to any resentment? Am I jealous? Am I angry? Or am I, and then you can also add in the word, am I unconsciously jealous? Am I unconsciously resentful? Am I unconsciously angry, right? And then ask yourself, who's that with? And then finally, one of the key bits here for forgiveness is, what haven't you forgiven yourself for? And it's quite difficult for us to ask that question. But if you're someone that is constantly beating yourself up or putting yourself down, or just being mean to yourself in your own mental dialogue, or you feel like you're not enough, then there's something in there that you haven't accepted about yourself, and you need to forgive yourself and accept that you are absolutely perfect as you are. So this is a really, really great opportunity to just really, how can I explain it? Really free yourself from this prison of lack and limitation. And what's going to come with it is there's going to be this greater sense of, freedom. Freedom is something that I think many of us at the moment are seeking and wanting with everything that's going on in our outside world. But actually that freedom comes from within. So all of these things, all these three themes that I've mentioned so far, there's elements of that which is going to free you. That's why there's such an excitement in the energy in April, and it's very, very liberating. So let's move on to the fourth and final theme, and this one is called creative magic. There is this beautiful, beautiful mystical magic in the air. It feels very like a childlike excitement. There's a sense of it's crisp, it's sharp, and it's also got this warm softness to it, and it's very, very loving and very, very playful. So the best way to kind of harness this energy is to give yourself the permission to create. Right? So what I mean by that, so many of us tend to fall like a victim to our circumstances, that we have no control where the world is going, or we feel that certain things are out of our hands. And this is a really great reminder, this creative magical energy, this creative magic, and this mystical magic energy that is with us this month is also helping us to remind us that we are the creators. And as the creators and as a creative being, we have the ability to create, and we're being supported now more than ever in creating. So if you have an idea for a project or something, and as long as you put your intention into it and you commit to it and you allow that creativity to flow through you, you'll get more access to this mystical magic energy that is coming through. So, if you've had ideas or had projects that you've been trying to work on over the last couple of months and that's not coming to fruition, this month is a great month just to get on with it. Just take one step at a time, one day at a time, 1 hour at a time. And as long as you're focusing on it and your intentions on it, you're going to be able to create this. And for those of you guys, it could be art, it could be music, it could be dance, which are other ways of kind of accessing this mystical magic energy in there. I think it's being mindful with this. It's like if you hear your inner voice or outer voice and someone says, oh, don't be so crazy, you can't do that, what are you talking about, what drugs are you on, or even you might be saying that to yourself. Be mindful for that voice and just take a moment to say, I hear you, I respect you, but actually I'm just going to have fun with this creative energy that is there at the moment. And the other thing here is let me find the right way to put in this. We often want to create from our minds, right? So this is about the heart, it's creating from your heart's desire. So what is it that your heart is desiring? What does your heart want to birth? What does it want to bring into this world, right? And be mindful about whether you're creating something because you want to be seen, heard, validated, approved, be mindful of that. So you can, whatever you're putting your energy into and your focus into creating, and it's not manifesting in the physical world, then maybe take a moment to say, okay, where am I creating from? Am I creating from a place of lack and lack, fear, or am I creating a place from my heart's desire, my truest heart's desire? And then that will give you indication. And the more that you can create from your heart's desire, the more that this will just get faster and faster and faster, and things will just start to fall into place. If you're someone that had all your ducks lined up in a row and just waiting for the right moment, this is the right moment. So just go ahead and do it. If there's any projects, or you found like you can't do something or unable to do something, you haven't found the right person, this is the month to really just say, to go into it, because it will kind of happen. So that is it for this month. I really hope that you enjoy these insights. If you do, make sure that you do share it with people that you know that is going to really value this and enjoy it and will be really insightful for them. And feel free to comment and like below. And also, those of you guys, if you don't know, I also have a YouTube channel, so feel free to go ahead, subscribe, because then you'll get a notification as soon as these videos are out. And I'll be starting to do more videos in April, May, with some more insights and information, so that will also go up onto the YouTube channel. And finally, this month, the Energetic Alignment series is on forgiveness, which is one of the themes this month. And we'll be looking at strengthening your connection with your heart, right? And it'll be focused on the heart chakra and clearing out any kind of unconscious or conscious blocks that you have around that, compassion, grief. And if you want more information about that, head over to my website and the information will be there. So it's anumi.com/events, and it's taking place on Sunday the 18th of April at 4 p.m. UK time, 11 a.m. EST and 8 a.m. PST. So I hope to see you guys there, especially those of you guys that are feeling you need a bit of extra support this month. Come and join us. It's a really small, intimate group. There's only about 16 of us that join each month, so the places are limited. All right, take care and have a wonderful April, and I will see you next month. Bye for now.